keep it. Now, of course, we have this bill coming through Parliament. We have 100 and I think it's 157, 8, something like that, MPs have signed an EDM. There are more MPs around who would support that position, who have not signed an EDM. I'm one of them, because I don't sign EDMs. And indeed, if you look at the number of people, you calculate probably the total people who have either said something as far as post office privatisation is concerned, who have written letters or signed statements or have signed EDMs, then that comes to pretty much most of the Labour Party MPs who are not on the payroll vote and therefore wouldn't say something about that anyway. So that's the strength of the situation as far as the Labour Party backbenchers are at the moment. And if therefore the bill came through the House of Commons and attempts were made without any change or any of these things put in place that I suggested and we've been discussing this afternoon, then it would be inevitable that the process could only go through the House of Commons with Conservative support. If it goes to the House of Commons with Conservative support, and we know from, we don't need to look at any crystal ball about this, we know from recent behaviour how fundamentally untrustworthy, I don't think I need to spell this out, how fundamentally untrustworthy the Conservatives are. And the prospect would be, quite possibly, quite probably, that at the last moment the price for a deal on keeping that bill going through the House of Commons would be more privatisation, less public sector provision, more people coming in and taking larger chunks of the Royal Mail away. And of course, if the Conservatives had a chance in government, it wouldn't be part privatisation, it would be wholesale privatisation, let's be clear about that. So the route that we seem to be embarked on at the moment is one I think is just fundamentally unsustainable. Now, I'm an optimist. I have to be an optimist because I'm a Labour MP in the south of England. But I think there is still room for making sure that one way or another, what comes before the House of Commons doesn't look like what has come from the House of Lords, or will have come from the House of Lords, isn't that route down to part privatisation that I think wouldn't work for the post office. And it's interesting, in the same document, it says, our package of changes says, no to privatisation, Royal Mail will remain in public ownership, we can agree with that. No to downgrading the universal service now or in the future. Yes to a level playing field for Royal Mail. Yes to greater security on Royal Mail pensions. Yes to outside investment and management expertise in Royal Mail. Yes to a new system of regulation that works with the company and workforce and puts maintenance of the universal service as the top priority. Those are things we can all agree with. The task is now to make those real as far as the outcome of what goes through the House of Commons is concerned, so that if those principles work for the Royal Mail, a Royal Mail in public ownership, guaranteed to serve the public, then we will have a good service ahead of us. And whatever happens at a future election, it will be difficult to dismantle that. And that seems to me the prize that's worth going for as far as these next weeks and months are concerned.
Thank you, Alan. I'd just like to put a bit of a plug in for Compass.